Watching the morning show on Fox 4 Beaumont.
Hi there, 8 o'clock on your Friday morning. It is, we were talking about this earlier this morning, the 107th day of 2019.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, where are you? Third through
Yeah.
the year, more or less. We've got 258 days left, so more than a third, right? Of course, we're working our way also towards summer, and you can feel it coming. If you were out yesterday, it was just that hint hanging in the air. If this is where we are, you know where we'll be 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of running around yesterday after the noon show, and I did go down to Port Arthur and a lot of South Jefferson County, and it was,
Yeah.
if you were just sort of still in the car for a while.
Did you have the top down?
It baked, yeah, but I had to put it up a little while, you know, to
Get a
cool
little
down a little
shade,
bit.
yeah.
To shade because the intense sunshine. And we're going to be seeing sort of a mix of sun and clouds for the duration of our Friday. And again, we start off with our live weather network of cameras. This is down in mid-Jefferson County. Crown Electric sponsoring the camera there. That's overlooking Port Arthur and some of the plants down there. And again, a partly cloudy start. And it's a warm one too. We're at Shangri-La in Orange, the Botanical Gardens there, 73 to start the morning off. A little wind south-southeast at 2 miles per hour. But again, it's going to be another warm weather day. We initially, beginning of the week, thought maybe we'd stair-step up every day as far as the temperatures are concerned, you know, 1 or 2 degrees. It looks like maybe the clouds will sort of plane us out in the mid-80s today through the weekend. And we will bring rain chances in by this afternoon. We'll talk about that timing in our full forecast.
All right, and don't forget, you can also check out Dana's forecast at fox4beaumont.com. 8:02 in our headlines, new developments this morning from Beaumont Police about a woman they believe may be in danger.
21-year-old Amare Akrund was last seen with 21-year-old Shakavin Fowler in the 600 block of Adams around 1:50 yesterday afternoon. Someone called police to that location for a welfare check because they believed Amare was taken against her will. Police believe the two may be in a red older model Saturn sedan with a green door. No word on the relation to each other, but if you know anything, you are asked to call Beaumont Police.
In national news this morning, President Trump unveils a plan to overhaul the nation's immigration system. Mr. Trump's proposal would impose new security measures at the border. It would also increase the skills and educational requirements for people who are allowed to migrate to the United States. Immigrants would be required to demonstrate proficiency with the English language and would have to pass a civics exam. The chief executive also says asylum abuse is taking a toll on the country and shortchanging Americans.
Unfortunately, legitimate asylum seekers are being displaced by those lodging frivolous claims. These are frivolous claims to gain admission into our country. Asylum abuse also strains our public school systems, our hospitals and local shelters, using funds that we should and that have to go to elderly veterans, at-risk youth, Americans in poverty, and those in genuine need of protection. We're using the funds that should be going to them, and that shouldn't happen, and it's not going to happen in a very short period of time.
President Trump says current immigration rules prevent the United States from retaining highly skilled and even brilliant people.
The Kirbyville School District has accepted Superintendent Thomas Wallace's resignation and retirement agreement.
Wallace, 12 other defendants named in a wrongful death lawsuit linked to the suicide of Kirbyville High School principal Dennis Reeves, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound back in May of 2017. Dr. Wallace declined to comment to the media when they tried to ask questions about his resignation package. The vote 3-1 in favor of the agreement. So what we don't know is the term, how long, the amount of money, or exactly when his last day of school will be. Although school ends on May 24th, we're all still waiting to learn whether the board has okayed a process for selecting the next superintendent.
The lone vote against the agreement was from board member Chad Wiggins. We're of course working on getting answers to the specific details of that resignation, and we'll update the story both on air and online as we learn more. Well, summertime right around the corner, and many Southeast Texans are getting ready to head for the water.
Cassidy Wood shares the story of one family's tragedy and how they hope it saves lives when it comes to water safety.
It happens every summer. You hear it. Drowning, drowning, drowning.
Summer is almost here, a time for fun in the sun. But one family experienced tragedy in the summer of 2013.
I lost a grandson. You know, he was 3 years old.
Caden Cantrell was swimming with his family and friends when the unthinkable happened.
They were all dressed, getting dressed to go, and they were all sitting out there at the table. But the split second turned their head.
Caden fell into the water at a friend's house in Houston.
He bent over to get a beach ball out of the pool, and when he did it, you know, the ball goes in, and he went in the deep. Nobody seen that split second, and time, you know, you go, hey, where's Caden?
They rushed to try to save him, but it was too late. Now, Terry Witten, Caden's grandmother, is using this tragedy to help save lives.
So get them swimming lessons and save their life.
BISD is now opening registration for summer swim classes.
On the first day of every swim lesson session, you know, the talk that I give to the parents is, we're not just here to learn how to swim, we're here to learn how to survive.
Too late for Caden, but not too late to send a life-saving message to others.
My daughter was right there, you know, I mean, a split second, turn your head, and it can happen that fast. And if he would have known how to swim, he could have saved himself.
Reporting for The Morning Show, I'm Cassidy Wood.
You can sign up for swimming lessons at many locations. One of those locations happens to be the athletic office at the Beaumont ISD Natatorium.
7 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And finally this morning, how much would you pay for a sculpture of a silver rabbit? Well, if the sculpture is from a famed American artist, Jeff Koons, you're going to pay a lot, a whole lot.
Rabbit is a 1986 sculpture from Koons made from stainless steel, previously owned by the late media mogul S.I. Newhouse. It sold at auction Wednesday for more than $91 million.
Wow, that's the most expensive work by a living artist ever sold at auction. Rabbit sold by Christie's, which estimated the sculpture would go for between $50 and $70 million.
And this is not the first time a Koons sculpture went for big bucks at auction. The artist's balloon dog Orange sold for more than $58 million back in 2013.
You know, you want to think you don't make art for money, but if you could just sell one at that price, you can make as much fun art as you want and not have to worry about it.
Is it made out of some precious metal?
No, it's not.
It's just that it's
Jeff Koons. Jeff Koons, a very interesting story. Jeff Koons pretty much has what a lot of people call an art factory. And he tells people, I don't do all the art. I don't actually make all the art. I come up with the ideas, I come up with the design, but I have people who make my art for me that actually do the handiwork. But it's still worth
nice if you can get the job.
tens of millions of dollars. No
Sure.
kidding. All right, let's talk about the weekend forecast because, again, we have sunshine some places this morning, a few clouds too.
Yeah, we've been enjoying a really nice weather week in southeast Texas. More sunshine than anything and some nice afternoon high temperatures. We will see rain chances back into the forecast as early as this evening. We'll have the details next.
Your weather authority.
Good morning, everyone. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Morning Show at Fox 4, where we're beginning with our live weather network of cameras. Do Good Credit Union providing the network, and Crown Electric sponsoring the camera that's at Mid-Jefferson Extended Care Hospital. We're mounted at the Extended Care Hospital in Nederland, overlooking Port Arthur. We can also pivot around and see Port Neches from this locale as well. But right here, the petrochemical plants down in Port Arthur, where we're seeing a lot of the clouds develop along the coast and then work their way up. And that's what we're seeing right now on our Crown Electric camera. Currently in Lumberton in Hardin County, where it's Lumberton Intermediate School, 72 degrees, fairly warm start, but not far off the mark from where we have been seeing, 91% on our humidity reading. And right now, winds picking up a little bit in Lumberton out of the east, 5 miles per hour. Barometer holding steady. Our 6-hour satellite and radar composite. Clouds still building into the Red River Valley. We're also seeing some activity going on as far as cloud work. Dallas, Fort Worth, Duncanville. We're seeing some of the smaller communities outside of Waco also, and Abilene and Midland, seeing the clouds build in. As far as we're concerned, we are seeing some clouds move their way in, most of it along the immediate coast. So right now, at least as far as infrared satellite imagery, hard to pick up on that. And it's not widespread cloud coverage either. And again, temperatures are starting off at 64 in China, Woodville and Tyler counties up to the 66 mark, Kirbyville 62, but 70 is the norm. From Beaumont at 73, 74 in Orange, 73 Lake Charles, and then south of the I-10 stretch, we're at 76 in High Island, mid-Jefferson County at the Jack Brooks Airport, where all of these numbers will again reach the middle 80s, but by 6 o'clock, we're on the downside of our temperature readings. 80 Beaumont, the airport, 78 Sabine Pass by the 6 o'clock hour. Tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning rather, we're going to be starting up back off in the low and mid 70s. I think the cloud coverage is going to sort of act as a little bit of a blanket, thermal insulator, if you will, for tomorrow morning, where we're going to start off again low and mid 70s, and then we'll rebound to the low and mid 80s. But look what's happening north of Woodville, Jasper, and areas north of the lakes as of 4:30. I mean, we're looking at the system coming through and bringing some shower probabilities in for not only this evening, but Saturday evening in a better sense and form. Our look ahead, good onshore flow, moisture added, gives us a 20% coverage of showers. Instability already there with an additional moisture and the approach of that system coming through. This is 6 o'clock, where we do see some isolated showers starting to move through areas north of the lakes area, but the potential for thunderstorms too tomorrow night, and that'll spill over into Sunday during the early morning hours. So we're keeping that 20% coverage of showers. We'll probably warm at Livingston and Coleman Hill to 87, Jasper the same. Burkeville should check in around 86, as does Buna, 85, Beaumont, Port Arthur, and in Orange, with our winds also picking up out of the southeast at 25 miles per hour. Our rain chances, again, moving in this evening only at 20%, so really sort of non-existent. I mean, if you compare it to the rest of the 7 days. Saturday's up to 50% coverage, and that's during the evening hours. And it does, at least as far as the model's concerned, looks like it could get a little dicey late tomorrow night or tomorrow evening, and we'll see that progress into our Sunday morning. But still looking at mid 80s. After the system's out Sunday, we start that warm up. And you know what our normal high is this time of year?
No.
86.
Is it really?
Yeah, I thought it was more than that.
I would think,
80s,
yeah.
I just double checked it.
Wow. Well, and the thing is, I was watching some of the PGA golf. They're playing the championship up in Bethpage, which is in New York. They're wearing jackets. I mean, they've got on long, I'm like, really? Here I am wearing shorts and flip-flops around? No,
Yeah.
thank you. I think I'll take the shorts now.
Same here.
July, I might want some of that air coming this way. 15 past the hour. Check this out. Photos taken by an astronaut, Alexander Gerst, from the International Space Station. You know what that is? I know what I thought it was at first.
Like seagulls.
No, you know what I thought it was at first? The top,
Yeah.
I thought it was, they were going to say that was the Northern Lights, but it's not. That's sunset. It's the reflection of the sun taken from outer space, just showing sunset across Earth.
I'm telling you, that app that I showed you, that's the coolest thing. I check it every day.
Space.
You can check out the positioning of the International Space Station, and they also broadcast this live camera.
Wow.
Showing,
it's always cool to watch.
Yeah.
16 past the hour of 8 o'clock. Up next, Nicole's back, and she's at M&D Supply this morning.
Getting some tips on how to make our homes more energy efficient for the summer season.
This week, Alabama took a page from The Handmaid's Tale, signing the nation's most restrictive abortion bill into law. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey wasted no time signing a controversial bill that makes it a felony for a doctor to perform or attempt an abortion during any stage of pregnancy. If that wasn't enough, Alabama legislators even denied an amendment that would have made exceptions for cases of rape and incest. The right-wing attacks on women's reproductive rights have ramped up over the past decade. In fact, over 400 restrictions have been placed on abortion in the past 7 years. 1 in 4 American women have had an abortion, according to a Guttmacher Institute study. Make no mistake, restrictions on abortion access will not stop women from seeking them. It could force them to travel to other states or even consider other potentially life-threatening options. Why do conservatives want to control our bodies? Today, more women have degrees than any other time in history. Women are steadily rising in our careers and living life on our own terms. This threatens the patriarchy that some conservatives want to preserve at all costs. Let's get to the point. Conservative attacks on abortion have nothing to do with being pro-life. It's about controlling women. For a party that supports small government, it seems some Republicans don't mind expanding government control over a woman's body.
Amisha, I disagree with the Alabama abortion law, as well as with the extreme bills proposed on the other side of this issue. Coming up, my thoughts on the difficult topic of abortion.
The views expressed by commentators do not necessarily reflect the views of this station.
This Friday morning, well, there are small ways and there are big ways you can make your home more energy efficient. The key is, though, if you haven't started now, this is a good time before we get into the dog days of summer. Nicole Murray is live this morning from M&D, and they're giving some advice when it comes to being energy efficient. Good morning, Nicole.
Well, good morning, Jillian. And yes, there are so many different ways that you become energy efficient. Small ways, big ways, whatever you're looking for, however much that you actually have to spend on it, whatever your budget is. And Lorena joins us. And of course, for people with a small budget, there's little things that they can do, correct?
Correct. We have a few, and we're going to go over them today. So, yeah, we have a few. One of the simples to me is sealing your windows from gaps, keeping it airtight. You have stuff for your windows, you have stuff for your doors, that'll seal them. And talking about windows, also covering your windows. If it's by blinds help a ton. Don't leave your windows bare. We also have tent kits that you can use. You have different type. This one here, you have to use the kit, which comes with the liquid and it comes with the squeegee, and you'll have to cut it to fit your windows. And then you have this one here too, which is a little more simple. This one, all you need is tape and just a hair dryer. Take your hair dryer to the bathroom and start using it, and it's pretty fast, pretty simple.
Well, that's pretty cool as well. Who knew that a hair dryer could do all that, right?
Right, exactly. And who doesn't have a hair dryer?
Okay, and then of course, fans, because I think that fans will help even if you do have the AC going. Maybe if everybody's in a room, just have one fan going and the AC not as high.
Right, and the fans are good to cool yourself. It won't cool your whole house down, but it will help, keep you cool, especially, like you said, if the family's in the family room. Definitely nice to have a fan. But also sleeping. This one's a really neat one. It's got 4 settings, and, it says it refresh, and it also has white noise, and this will save a lot of energy.
And what are some other ways that people can really think about it? Maybe some lighting?
Yes, we got light bulbs. You want to go from your incandescent to your LEDs. Your LEDs are a lot cooler bulb, very energy efficient, and that's a very simple fix that you can do. Maybe on a weekend, take all your old ones and replace them with new LED ones. So for sure.
And what does insulation play a factor in? And I see we have some insulation down here.
Yes, that's for your attic. Again, you want to keep your house insulated from cracks, and it's really good to start with your attic because that's where the sun is beaming on your roof. So try to have that insulated from any cracks. So, and we carry that here all year long.
All year long. And then of course, we're always talking about the AC unit as well, and that's something that people can, have someone come out and look at and make sure it's functioning properly, because if it goes out during that summer, that is definitely a frustrating situation.
Exactly. So it's good to, do a tune-up at least once a year. Have somebody come and take a look at your AC unit. They'll change fluids, they'll do maintenance on it, and, prevent it from breaking down in the middle of the summer when you need it the most, because that's when it works the hardest, for sure.
And talk about the importance. Are a lot of people coming in right now and maybe changing out the filters and things like that?
Yes. Changing your filters will take some of that stress off your unit from working so hard this summer. So make sure that you're changing them out either every once a month or every 3 months. Also keeping those vents clear. Don't block them. Don't have furniture in front of them. Let them work efficiently, but definitely keep them clean and don't block them. Don't have anything in front of them.
And I remember one time, having an AC unit and we getting that energy bill, and it was $800, and not really knowing what it did. We did able to go back to the fact that it was our AC unit. And so one thing that, people can, be aware of, like I said, is changing out those filters and making sure all that is ready to go. But, also, people can look at other different ways. What are some other ways that they can make sure that they're energy efficient?
Using your thermostat, using a programmable thermostat that you can set it up while you're gone. So you can program it for 7 days a week, and when you're leaving the house, it'll crank up your AC, make your house a little hotter. But as soon as, maybe if you get off at 5, maybe at 3 o'clock, it'll start cooling it down. So it's got personal settings, and with technology now, you have so many that are smart energy that they adapt to you, they adapt to your lifestyle. So those are pretty neat too, and you can check them from your phone. You can set them up as you're leaving work, so that's really, really neat as well.
All right, thanks so much. We appreciate it, Jillian. All you got to do is get that hair dryer out, and we can, put up some film so that the light doesn't come in too much and keep that energy bill down. All right, tossing it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Nicole. 8:26 now. Coming up, we will tell you which film received a whopping 4-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival. And the Alamo City remains a hotspot for visitors. We've got some Texas business news and entertainment headlines next.
You're 28 past the hour of 8 o'clock. You're watching the morning show on KBTV Fox 4, and a beautiful day getting started. And got a bit of a pizza party going on here in the studio this morning.
Yeah.
We'll tell you all about that as we continue. Right now, though, Texas cities can expect a lot of visitors this summer.
And Whataburger may have a new owner soon. Jane King has those stories and more in today's Texas Business Report.
Hello, Texas, an iconic state restaurant chain looking into a potential sale or possible expansion. Whataburger has hired investment bank and financial services company Morgan Stanley to help it explore its opportunities. Well, AAA says gas prices have fallen in Texas. The statewide gas price average in the state, $2.58 a gallon. Drivers in San Antonio paying the least at $2.41. Midland is the most expensive at $2.76. Well, Sprint and Verizon have started selling 5G phones. Sprint will only sell the phone in just a few cities. That does include Dallas and Houston. This starts May 31st. And a new ranking of America's most popular summer travel destinations shows the Alamo City remains a hotspot for visitors. Also, San Antonio ranked behind Austin. It was actually number 2 in the state. Dallas was number 5. Houston, 19th. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your Texas Business Report.
There's a new version of an infamous horror movie series from an unexpected source.
David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Chris Rock is such a fan of the Saw franchise, he's bringing it back. The comedy man has a new vision for the horror films about the serial killer Jigsaw. He's written the story and will executive produce the new movie, which Lionsgate plans to release next year, in October, of course.
The whole Apollo program was designed to get 2 Americans to the lunar surface and back again to Earth safely.
The documentary Apollo 11 gave audiences a new look at the first moon landing. Now it's landing on even bigger screens. Apollo 11 First Steps Edition, featuring previously unprocessed 70mm NASA footage, opens on IMAX and other giant screens at select science centers and museums beginning this weekend. Cheers and tears for Rocket Man at Cannes. The Elton John biopic kicked off the Cannes Film Festival with the audience reportedly applauding performance scenes, and when it ended, giving the film a 4-minute standing ovation, moving John and the man who plays him, Taron Egerton, to tears. Rocket Man hits theaters May 31st. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Here's a look at what's trending at the Daily Mail. New York Appeals Court refused to unseal the record of a pretrial hearing in the Harvey Weinstein rape case.
A trial judge held a closed hearing in April to discuss whether to allow other alleged victims of Weinstein to testify at his trial. A group of 15 news organizations asked that the trial documents be unsealed. Lawyers on both sides argued that disclosing evidence at this stage could taint the jury pool. Weinstein is accused of raping a woman in a New York hotel room and forcibly performing oral sex on another woman at his Manhattan apartment. Weinstein faces life in prison if convicted. The trial expected to start in September.
For more on this and other stories that are trending, you can tune in to the Daily Mail TV. That's tonight, right here on Fox. Well, it's another Friday on the morning show, and besides food, we're going to be talking movies.
Our very own Sean McBride, the movie guy, is up next to let us know if any new movies this weekend can unseat Avengers Endgame.
Sunny day getting started across southeast Texas. Some folks seeing a few clouds, other folks not a cloud in the sky, but either way you take it, the good news is it's Friday. A new John Wick movie is out. Does it have enough kick to take down the Avengers this weekend at the movie? Some people are saying yes. More importantly, The question is it any good? Here's Sean McBride, the movie guy, with a review of this week's new releases.
Are services still off limits to me? What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
John Wick is back with a third movie that turns out to be his best so far. Now he's got hordes of assassins that are trying to take him down, which makes this into 2 hours of incredibly creative fight sequences. Look, if you just want to turn off your brain and enjoy the visceral kick of a mindless action flick, John Wick 3 certainly packs a wallop.
What if I told you I could get you to fall in love with me? Just give me a day.
An hour.
Based on the best-selling novel, The Sun Is Also a Star is a whirlwind romance set against the real-world struggle of a young woman whose family is about to be deported. Now, it has a little too much melodrama for me, but young romance fans should fall in love with the attractive cast and cool big city vibe.
My name is Bailey, and this is my boy, Ethan. I've lived a lot of lives, as a lot of different dogs, but I always found my way back to Ethan.
A Dog's Journey is the feel-good sequel story of a dog who reincarnates in order to take care of the humans that he loves. This is a saccharine but well-made film that is basically a love letter to dog-loving audiences everywhere. You'd have to be a cat not to like A Dog's Journey.
Oh, hello. Where did you come from? It's like he chose you.
And that's what's new this weekend at the movies. I'm Sean McBride, the movie guy.
35 past the hour. Sean in studio with us this morning to talk about some of these films. And yeah, I hate to say it, but you said it out loud, and I was thinking it was, somebody's not going to be happy about the dog because they're going to be saying, well, where's the cat version
yeah, exactly.
of this same story?
Yeah, the cat movie is just the cat going, yeah, I'm not doing anything for you.
Exactly. This is where I'm sitting. If you don't like it, take it up with somebody
I actually
else.
worked on a movie back in the early 90s where it had a dog and a cat that had to have parts, and the cat was far and away. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing my blocking. I don't do anything here. So
get back to me later.
Exactly.
All right, so let's. The real question this week is, as we started the segment, is here we are 3 weeks later. Can anybody blow out the Avengers from the number one spot in the country? And I have to think we're far enough, deep enough, and it is a John Wick movie. Whether you like them or not, they have a huge audience.
They're very popular.
I would think it would do very well.
Yeah, that first movie in 2014, nobody saw it coming, but it's like it was a huge audience success, like you said. And then the sequel, 2017, I think it was, just like, oh wow, they're really doing something special here. And the director of this series is the guy who was Keanu's stunt double in The Matrix. And so he's a guy that understands the fights, right? And boy, does he stage
well, but that's
some
better
fights.
Because that's all they are.
Yeah, well, there's a little more than that.
Oh, come on.
But not much. You're correct. So, look, these are visually impressive fight sequences. They're very creative. I mean, the opening one where he uses library books as like nunchucks is just wonderful. But there's a horseback fight. There's a motorcycle and sword fights. I mean, just a lot of fun stuff that you haven't seen.
Okay, well, that's and a lot of people would say, point to that and go, great. That's called violence for the sake of entertainment. It's like death for the sake of entertainment. And they're going to have a problem with that. But they won't go see this movie, and they should know by now.
I will tell you, so this is a very bloody R-rated movie. I mean, people who think that someday we'll get an NC-17 because of violence, if this film doesn't do it, nothing ever will. But by the end of it, you're kind of desensitized. It just turns into
that being my point.
Oh, look,
right?
another head exploded.
Yeah.
So what? So yeah, so you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to turn off your mind, just sit back and enjoy the visceral kick of this movie. And if you do, I think it is really well done. But you're absolutely correct. If you are someone who does not like violent movies, don't go anywhere near John Wick.
But again, they're not. We know that they're not. So we know that there is a specific. The question is there a specific audience big enough to generate the kind of money that it would take to knock?
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody's going to want to go see this. Even the younger kids, their parents wisely shouldn't let them go see it. But I think it's about as well done for this type of movie as you can do.
All right, let's move on to the next, which is a totally different kind of movie.
Everything.
Right?
There is something for everybody.
This is a romance that we're talking about, isn't it?
A teen romance based on a New York Times best-selling novel. The Sun Is Also a Star. It's Yara Shahidi is a young woman who finds out that her family's getting deported. So her family's Jamaican. So it's interesting that they have some real-world drama in that. But she meets a guy. She actually is listening to her headphones, almost gets run over. The guy saves her. And he likes her. He says, I'm going to prove to you that I can make you fall in love with me. And she goes, well, I'm getting deported tomorrow, but let's see what happens.
Okay.
You know, so it's kind of a strange, look,
Right.
you know, most teen romances are all melodramatic and over the top. And so people of a certain age, a la us, look at them going, well, this is kind of silly. But hey, look, that's fine. You know, this audience, the group that wants to see good-looking people falling in love in an exotic location, in this case it's New York City, you know, I think they'll enjoy this. I think anyone over 30 will go, just roll their eyes at it and going, this is a little crazy, but it's just a straightforward romance.
And again, an intended audience, and it's
Exactly.
out there, and they're catering to
Hey,
that audience.
I love movies that say we don't have to be high art. We're gonna appeal to our audience. If you're like violent action films, it's John Wick. If you want romance, it's this one. And if you're a dog lover,
it's the next one.
Yeah, Dog's Journey, A Dog's Purpose. I mean, this is the
They all
sequel.
run together
Yeah,
now.
a dog doing something. So a story of the idea is that these dogs, after they pass away, they reincarnate and they come back as puppies, but they still have this this desire to take care of the humans, you know. And so in this case, it's Dennis Quaid's dog.
Wait, wasn't Dennis Quaid the villain last week in the movie?
Exactly, but he didn't have a dog.
Now he's grandpa this week.
Exactly.
The good guy.
So,
Okay.
look, it's a story about a dog taking care of its humans. It's Josh Gad playing the voice of the dog, so some humorous asides. You know, it is what it is. It's very saccharine. It is nothing that if you want some edge, there is no edge to this thing. You know,
right.
I mean, look, it's a feel-good
dog
family thing. If you like dogs, I think even your younger kids will think it's kind of warm. It's just kind of one of those weeks. You know, next week we have Aladdin that comes out.
Right.
So that is the next big one, and that's the one that's going to aim at the family. So this, you know, you don't want to release a huge family film because next week is the one that everybody's saving their pennies to
So
go
have
see.
we kind of moved away from this idea that, you know, we have the summer blockbusters and we have the Christmas blockbusters? I mean, obviously we do, but I mean, are they more spaced out now?
We do, because what happens is the foreign sales are such a big part of
Right.
making movies success, and China doesn't have the same, you know, seasons that we do. So domestically, we absolutely do. That's why you saw Avengers 3 weeks ago. That's why you'll see Aladdin and a new Toy Story and all this stuff in the summer. And then once again, we do have the Christmas movies. But that doesn't mean anything to China, to Russia, to India.
right.
So you want to have some stuff so that you can continually feed the pipeline. So.
Gotcha. All right, so we'll see what happens this week, whether or not John Wick can do
I think it will,
what
so.
its intended mission is,
Yep.
apparently, to knock
Kick
out
some
the number
Avenger
one.
butt.
There you go. All right, so we'll look for that. Thank you, as always. Sean
Sure.
McBride, the movie guy, drops by every Friday to talk about what's new at the box office. Still to come this morning, checking back with Kelsey. She's in the outdoor kitchen at the Balboa Company. It's a Good Food Friday.
I am disappointed that the state of Alabama has adopted a law instituting a nearly universal ban on all abortions. The law does not include exceptions in the case of rape or incest, even for underage women. While the Alabama law does some things right in protecting the lives of the unborn, it ultimately takes so harsh a stance that I believe it actually damages the pro-life movement. On the flip side, in states such as Virginia and New York, state legislatures have introduced extreme bills that essentially legalize the murder of babies in the third trimester, or right before they're born. The governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, has even appeared to speak in favor of killing babies after they're born. Many children who are born early, in the third or second trimester, go on to live full, amazing lives. Abortion in general ignores the sanctity of life. While it is in some cases a necessary action, it should be a last resort. Here's the bottom line. I believe that most parents do not want to abort a child and understand that this issue is incredibly nuanced. Our conversations and the legislation pertaining to this difficult topic should reflect that and not the extremes.
This segment is sponsored by Balboa Company.
It's 13 minutes now away from the top of the hour. You know, each month we head out to the Balboa Company in their outdoor kitchen to give a local chef an opportunity to cook something up on the big green egg or the griddle as part of our Well, Good Food Friday.
Yeah, Kelsey Boers is out there this morning with the owners of the Boardwalk Grill in Orange, and I have been very impressed so far.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we've gone from quail to tuna steaks, which looked really good. I can only imagine where we're headed now.
Yeah, now we're headed to Nick's favorite. He said, oh, finally, we're cooking something I can eat.
Something I can eat. Look at this steak and this shrimp. Yes, this is what barbecuing's about.
So Jake has now put together for us their surf and turf, which has been sizzling up on the griddle for the past couple of minutes. So Jake, tell us about this cut of meat, what you've done with the shrimp, because I see some spices on there, and what you're about to do.
Well, this is our ribeye fillet, the center cut out of the ribeye that we trim out. And then we top it with 5 jumbo blackened shrimp. And then on top of that, we have a spinach garlic cream sauce that I make that we also top over all of it.
So is this the sauce that you were telling me you have turned into a pasta sauce?
I've turned this one into a pasta also, yes. I got one that's a pepper jack crawfish for our flounder sauce that we make, that we turn into pasta, and this one we turn into shrimp pasta as well.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever eaten a steak like this with this much, kind of toppings on it. Mm-hmm. Is this one of your favorite things to do?
It is. I love sauces. So, I mean, that's what I eat on the regular is sauce.
And it's not to take away from the meat, It's just you just like sauce.
Yeah, I like sauce on everything. That's what I keep myself on, is making different sauces.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to? Can you cut into that for us? Yeah. It looks so pretty right now, but let's cut a slice off so we can see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, I can just see by the way you stuck that fork in it how tender that looks. Oh my gosh.
Nice little medium
rare.
That
looks amazing. Yummy.
Ooh, I touched that grill. It's a little hot.
The grill is hot. It's heating up out here.
Yeah, it is.
So this is something, you have a little bit of a tricky kind of schedule and menu for people to memorize, but this is something that you can find on the menu only tonight?
Only on Friday nights.
So explain how your kind of lunch and dinner menu works.
On Fridays, we go from 10:30 to 3 with our lunch menu, and then we close in between 3 and 5, so I can finish prepping up. Like I said, I do some off-the-wall things that normally ain't done around here, and it just takes a lot for me to prep. Mm-hmm. I try to get as much as I can normally in the mornings.
Yeah.
But we're here with y'all today, so I'll be pushing to get everything done in between 3 and 5 today.
It just amazes me that you are able to accomplish all of this by yourself. Tell us about your kind of cooking career and your past.
Just a lot of years of working in the restaurant. My father owned a restaurant. I cooked there and ran that kitchen for 12 years about, and just basically been cooking in a restaurant atmosphere since I was 10. So I'm roughly at 23 years of experience now in the restaurant, and just getting it done. I learned quick, easier ways to get prep work done without overworking yourself. Like I say, it's same with anything. Anybody that does carpenter work, anything, you got to have the right tools for the right job.
This is true.
Because if you don't, it's going to take you a while to prep.
So are you excited to expand? Tell us about that.
Yes, I am. I'm just ready to get the big place open where basically I'm not doing all the prep work myself. And it's coming along. Everything's almost there. We're about to start construction finally.
And tell everyone where that will be.
It'll be down right across the street from where our current location is, actually on 5th Street, right on the waterfront on the boardwalk, down in downtown Orange.
I'm so excited for that. The atmosphere is going to be amazing. So, Nick, I think we've done a really great job this morning of showing the big green egg all the way to the griddle and all these different types of meat that we've had.
Yes, and some great tasting food. It takes people like himself there that knows how to grill and get that taste, especially on that steak.
Yeah. And the big green egg, we should mention, is on special for Father's Day.
It's on special for Father's Day through the end of June. You can now get the large big green egg for $8.99. It's a special they don't run but once a year. So right now we have plenty. We're ready to go for Father's Day.
And the extra large is on sale too, right?
Extra large is on sale too, and I believe it's like $11.59. Same deal. Egg, cart, everything you need.
So if somebody wants that, we still have a few weeks until Father's Day, but how soon can they get it out to their house? What if they want it this weekend?
If they want it this weekend, if they come in early enough, we can do it for this weekend, or we even do a layaway. So if you just want to put down on it and have it ready for Father's Day for your size, you can do that as well.
Awesome. Sounds good. Dan and Jillian, I feel like an egg, no matter what size, would be the perfect Father's Day gift. I mean, you really can cook anything on those things. And as soon as you start cooking on it, you'll figure out that everything tastes better on it.
I'm not going to argue that. I would, as a father, if somebody wants to give me one for Father's Day, I think that would be wonderful. You're right. And I love that the idea of Orange, a new investment back into the city of Orange, especially by folks who are already cooking there. Thanks, Kelsey. Have a great morning. Appreciate your being with us. And again, a great way to end the week with another Good Food Friday. Still to come this morning, Dana's back. He's got to look at what's happening in the weekend forecast.
Yep, and we'll look ahead to what we're going to be working on for the Monday edition.
Not going to do it. We have for breakfast this morning. Check this out. You can't really see it, but we have boxes and boxes of pizza from the folks at Mellow Mushroom.
Yes.
Piccadilly Pizza.
Now, Piccadilly Pizza, some people may not be familiar with, but that's in Lumberton, right?
Yeah, it's at the Big Thicket Country Store. Inside the store, you can go ahead and they've got breakfast pizzas, which they served us one. They got the other one's a Hawaiian pizza. And then the folks over at the Wheelhouse, Nature's River Wheelhouse, offer a brunch breakfast pizza. It's called Sunrise Pizza.
And that one's amazing.
Can you reach in there and open that up for me so folks can see what's inside there?
Yeah, it's got a special sriracha sauce.
No, the one down the bottom.
The one from the Wheelhouse, there. And then, of course, Mellow Mushroom provided us with their two signature pizzas, the Holy Shiitake and it's called a, God, what is it again, Kenny?
Cosmic Caramel.
Cosmic Caramel. Both of them were just unbelievable. So thanks to all the folks there.
All the different kinds of sauces. Plus, we have homemade calzone this morning. We have Kenny did a pizza dip this morning.
That's amazing.
That everybody's been talking about. We have dessert pizzas. Kelsey did one.
And he made this on site. I made it.
Yeah, he was over here mixing while we were working.
Well, it turned
he was
out
working
good.
hard.
Yeah, it turned out really good. All right, speak to me about what's happening in the forecast.
Well, warm today. We're seeing a partly cloudy sky that'll build in for the rest of the day. A little chance of showers, only at 20%, and we'll move that up to 50% coverage late in the day on our Saturday.
All right, but hey, it's Friday. Now, who cares what the rain chances are, right?
Right.
Time to get out of here. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully you got big plans. Whatever you're going to do, as you said, maybe start early on Saturday so you get it done so you don't have to worry about the rain late in the afternoon. We'll see you back here bright and early Monday morning beginning at 4:30 a.m. Until then, have yourself a terrific day.
What are these?
Calzone.
Oh, calzone.
Yeah, homemade calzone. So you need to try one of those.
Did that?
Giovanna did that.
It's got
and she was saying that
cheese,
but the crust
turkey.
is.
Oh, yeah.